I just want everyone to know, no matter how dark times get, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Just keep believing, keep pushing forward, keep fighting. Don't listen to freaking social media. Don't live and die by likes. It's so stupid. It's not a real place. Be accountable to the person in the mirror and nobody else. You answer to yourself, not the freaking internet.
So to start, we're going to throw it all the way back here.
Oh, wow.
Do you know the date of that by any chance?
No, I know it's 2007, I can tell you that much.
12th of October 2007, wow. Drew McIntyre's SmackDown debut.
Yeah, my goodness, look how young. Look at those eyes, so full of hopes and dreams. Not like these soulless eyes I have now, after everything I've been through. I just got to America about 3 weeks prior. The writers happened to be at Ohio Valley Wrestling, the WWE developmental territory at the time. They needed a body to get in the ring to work with one of the other guys they wanted to look at. And turns out they liked what they saw with myself. And I remember I came in and I took out the Major Brothers, and they went on to become the Edgeheads, so I did them a massive favor, and they got a WrestleMania spot after that because old Drew, the Executioner, took out the Major Brothers.
Before you won the WWE Championship, you picked up some other gold in WWE.
Ah, I did.
Intercontinental title.
That's why John Cohen looked so surprised. Incredible. And everything was just going exactly to plan how I envisioned it when I was a kid. I was like, I'll just go to WWE after school, and then I'll win the Intercontinental title like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, and then I'll just become world champion. Simple. And for some insane reason, things started following that path. And, I was put on TV very quickly. And then I went to FCW and I did win the tag titles with Wade Barrett. And I did become FCW champion. And then suddenly I'm Intercontinental champion. I'm the chosen one. I'm like, oh, this is easy. Didn't stay on that path, but it was a good start. This is a big moment right here, though.
Yeah, this is ICW, your ICW return, I believe. Under a slightly different name, Drew Galloway.
Yeah, I mean, slightly different. It's my real name.
You've been released by WWE at that point, and you make that massive return, Scotland as well, ICW, and you can just see from that picture all the faces in that crowd going absolutely mental. Like, does that put a kind of fire in your belly just to kind of prove everybody that this is where you belong? Yeah,
I mean, I had a fire in my belly before this moment, and pretty much from the moment I got released. Obviously, I was going through a bunch of emotions. And losing my dream job and, getting some perspective that probably should have been trying a lot harder, but I had a clear vision of what I wanted to do and the image I wanted to put out there and show everybody what I was truly capable of. Sure enough, I showed up, and if anyone's not seen it, just Google Drew Galloway returns to ICW. The reaction was just incredible.
Then you make this return to NXT, and I feel like there's a real difference in those two photos. Almost the first one from ICW is quite gritty. It's like purely just you're there to fight, whereas this one, you almost look like a more polished character, potentially, in that photo.
Yeah, I'm a lot more relaxed. In the ICW picture, I'm fired up, I'm angry, I'm kind of uncertain, I guess, behind those eyes. Like, I'm very certain of who I am at this point. It's, if you compare, probably bring it up a lot better on the the old post-editing, but if you compare these two faces, just the difference of somebody who knows exactly who they are and somebody that's just so wide-eyed, like, what is going on right there? I'm in WWE television, that's cool. Why are people trying to add me on MySpace? I got so many friends.
Did you know kind of back then that that was the start of something big that was potentially going to culminate around this time at the Royal Rumble 2 years later?
I mean, I'd like to say yeah. And I did believe it, but it wasn't so much as a cocky manner like when I was a kid. I was a chosen one. I was like, I'm totally going to be champion. I'm going to win it like 10 times. Yeah, gangbusters. This time it was, okay, I believe I can do this. I'm going to put the work in, and I'm going to make it happen through hard work, no matter what I have to do. And I told people backstage in Power that the big money for McIntyre, the big run's going to come where we can tell my real story when I can fully be myself, because it had worked so many other places. Just because it's a smaller stage, I've learned that if it works there, it's going to work anywhere, including the big stage, and that's where people are going to believe everything I say because it's real, 100%. And to win the Royal Rumble and to eliminate Brock, hear 40,000 people in Texas go wild. And then the big one for me was I knew Edge was coming back. And the fact that Edge got eliminated, and then I eliminated Roman right after and still got the same reaction, 40,000 people, as I got for eliminating Brock, was a cool moment. And it's where I felt like man, you might have been the corporate chosen one when you were younger, but you just became the people's chosen one, which was a lot cooler.
And it all comes to a head at WrestleMania 36. Here you are at WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre, the first British WWE champion, standing in the ring over Brock Lesnar. A moment you'll never forget, perhaps?
Oh, absolutely. It's interesting. Obviously, it's my lifelong goal. Main event WrestleMania, win the title. But we look at the last picture and the adrenaline, the 40,000 people, how I was feeling in that moment compared to how I felt here. It was similar but completely different. As opposed to that surge of adrenaline, you can't get a clear thought through your head. You're getting like random montages going on of everything it took to get to that moment. But here, quiet warehouse, with Brock Lesnar winning the match, nobody making a sound as you get that 3 count. It was very clear what was going on in my head, and I had a very clear vision of how I felt and what was going on in the world at the time. Everybody that sacrificed to help me get to that moment where I was WWE champion, and everybody that had supported me to get me to that moment. I even reached down the camera and said thank you to everybody, because that's how I felt in the moment. I assumed it would get edited because we're not supposed to look down the camera, break the fourth wall, but it stayed in there, and that was my WrestleMania moment. You know, sometimes you have to lose so you can win. You know, I was winning a whole lot, then I had to lose, which means the fall was that much greater, which means I didn't hit rock bottom, I hit below rock bottom, and a lot of stuff happened in my personal life that put me lower than that, and I had to dig my way back to rock bottom to start again. And you know, it toughened me up mentally, physically, made me the man I am today. And I just want everyone to know, no matter how dark times get, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Just keep believing, keep pushing forward, keep fighting. Don't listen to freaking social media. Don't live and die by likes. It's so stupid. It's not a real place. Be accountable to the person in the mirror, nobody else. You answer to yourself, not the freaking internet.